is the Big O Show.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzagari and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest with your... Time to log into the blockchain and find out what's the latest in Bitcoin and crypto in our Crypto Bro Show. Crypto Bro. This segment brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Take your home or business to the next level with RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Call Ray or Mike at 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their fantastic work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Here's the Crypto Bro himself, Orlando Alzugari.
Hey, good evening. Well, late afternoon, good evening, 5:51. Who knows, it might be a little earlier where you're at. The more west we go, wherever you're at in the world watching, which, I always love to see wherever you're at. So share wherever you're at on Instagram, by the way, if you're watching. I can see you already, Captain Saki there on Instagram. Love the dedication to the platform. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Big Johnson, Jeff in Long Island, you people are studs. Please, first of all, because I always do this solo, so I want to make sure, because I don't have the professional, workings of the great Sean Stanley when I do the Crypto Bro Show. So I want to make sure the audio is kosher before we do anything. So I need something. I need it to tell me, hey, we're good. All good. CJ, thank you. Very good. Appreciate you all out there as always. Man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. It's like, it's juicy, and everything for those of us that have been in it for a while, we've been talking about how they're building the entire financial system right under us. And really, they were doing it throughout, except they were stopped by a lot of people over the last 4 years from really taking off. We could be so farther ahead right now, really, if there was adoption and acceptance. Now that, they've turned the page there on the government side, those of us are seeing now everything getting fast-tracked now. And it's getting fast-tracked to the point, I want you guys to prepare. And ladies out there, I mean it in a general term, by the way. I don't mean it by any, but I want you all to prepare for this, because we're going to get wicked. Like it's going to happen, I think, by next week, no later than the week after that. No later than that, we're going bonkers. I'm predicting that. There is no doubt in my mind we are about to go absolutely ape crap. Okay? First of all, you start looking at Trump signing the bill yesterday to make everybody, make the United States the crypto capital, AI capital, like he promised, right? So let's go to his signing. Let me take off our great friends at RMC there. So check this out. So let me enlarge it. Obviously, here's Trump signing the bill.
Yeah, this is the Crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
All right, David, that's for you. Thanks.
Make sure I get the volume, because sometimes I screw that up with the whole volume thing. So anyway, he signs it, and his right-hand man, David Sachs, is right next to him, the crypto czar, who's going to be in charge of all of this. And obviously, this is what we've all been waiting for. A lot of us that have been in this for a while. Those of you that just got in, you lucky bastards. I got to say, you lucky bastards. You didn't have to deal with chokehold 2.0 or whatever it was called, choke something, whatever it was. It was just, you didn't have to deal with the whole crap, Gensler and the mess of you name it, from Three Arrows Capital to Celsius to FTX, and you guys didn't have to live it with the rest of us because it was rough. It was rough because there was a lot of things that could have been avoided, because since they put no regulations, no laws, they just allowed everybody to make whatever they considered were mistakes, and then they just punish. So nobody knew what to do, how far you could go, where, what were the boundaries, because they would refuse to say that because they did not want the industry to grow. Now you've got steroids for the industry, and it's going to explode. But I want you to understand how much it's going to explode. Okay? You don't have to be smart to make money in this bull run. That's the beauty of this first crypto bull run in mass adoption world. Let's put it that way, right? Because this is the first bull run for the masses. The masses have never been in the bull run. It's always been a very minute, small people that are smart enough to able to take advantage of it, and then the stupid people that don't know nothing, they lose their money. That's going to happen here a lot. But even the people that don't know anything are going to get lucky. They're going to get lucky. And David Sachs is going to tell you why, even if you actually don't know anything about this, not that that's a good thing, you should do your homework and all that stuff. You really shouldn't take my word for it or anybody else's. You should really, that's why we say we're not financial advisors. You should go do your homework and make your own decisions and those kind of things. But David was on Fox, okay? And they asked him about the meme coin. Like Trump has the meme coin going. Now, remember, he works for the guy that has the meme coin, and his wife has a meme coin. Okay, so that's the president. It is what it is. Okay, I get this is none of this stuff that we talk about has anything to do with red or blue. I don't really care. I'm about red, white, and blue. I'm about you. Okay, so I don't care if you happen to even follow one of these silly sides. Okay, more power to you. Go ahead. But I don't care. I care about you guys winning. All of us winning, money, making money. Okay, that's all I care about. So I'm just going to talk about the stuff that helps us or might hurt us, because there's some stuff that might hurt us. We'll get to that. But this is going to be so bullish. Okay, let me play this. Let me play David Sachs talking. This is the crypto czar. This is the top guy in the United States. The only guy he answers to is Trump.
Is crypto an asset or a currency then?
Well, when you're talking about digital assets, it can be multiple things. I mean, you've got digital assets that are securities. You've got digital assets that are commodities. You've got digital assets that are collectibles like NFTs or meme coins. So, you're talking about a whole vast area of innovation. And so digital assets can be a number of different things. And that's why you need a clear regulatory framework that says, which areas are which, what are the definitions? And that's what founders need. Founders just need clarity around those definitions. They need to know what the rules of the road are so that they can abide by those rules and be confident that if they succeed in the United States, they're not going to get arbitrarily prosecuted.
So how is crypto an asset or a currency then?
Well, when you're talking about digital assets, it can be multiple.
Now, let me explain something to you, because this goes a lot deeper, because there's a lot of dangerous shit he just said there. Okay, again, for those of you that don't follow, okay, so you need regulatory and framework and rules and all that. Okay. How are you going to tell the president that the Trump coin is a scam? 80% of it is held with the people that create it. Only 20% was released. So people were given that coin and all that stuff, and they can cash out. What are you going to do about the Melania one when 93% of it wasn't released? I know it's tanked, but a lot of people lost money already. Those are all rug pulls, like most meme coins. But he called it a collectible. So they're going to set up the rules and the regulations however the hell they want. to benefit crypto, which benefits you and me. Is it going to screw a lot of people? Oh man, a lot of people are going to lose money. They don't care. Do your homework. Do your homework. That's a two-edged sword, what he just talked about there. Oh, it's a free-for-all. Let's go. Bring in Ted Nugent, baby. It's a free-for-all. Let's go. That's fine. You can think about it that way, but how do you regulate the president and the first lady's coin? You're not. So craziness like that, you're going to get away with it. By the way, this might be a good thing for the Haktua girl. I'm just saying, two-edged sword. I got a bigger one for you coming up that we need to talk about. But these are things that, okay, it's great to have it, but you have to understand what's coming. Okay? Those of us that do our homework and we invest in Avalanche and we studied and we got it early and all that, we're ahead of the game. Somebody that gets in now is not nearly ahead of the game as the person that got in 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying. Okay? Just like XRP. Did you get it at 30 cents or did you get it at $3? That's a whole lot of difference right there. The person at 30, 40, and 50 cents, they're Xing a lot. The person at $3, it takes them a lot to just get to the 2X. You got to have a lot of movement. You got to look at that market cap and go, okay, well, if it's whatever, let's say, let me go to the XRP price. But right now you look at XRP and the market cap, it's 178 billion. So you've got to go to $360 billion to get to $6.20. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's going to move, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So it's not as easy as it seems. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand what you're doing in this game. And it's great what they said there, but it's going to be the Wild West. So it's going to benefit those that do their homework. Those that don't do their homework, I don't think you're going to have the protection that you think you're going to have, because it's going to be kind of like the Wild, Wild West. Because if the president and the first lady can release those crazy ass coins with tokenomics that are absolutely horrible, they have no utility whatsoever. They're just collectibles, which is genius on David Sachs' part. Okay, because it is. You can turn it that way. You can say, "Oh yeah, no, that's not there's no utility there. That's a collectible." It's interesting. So you kind of wipe your hands. So you're going to put something in a category that is a collectible. So it could grow in value or whatever, because you have no control of what the tokenomics. When they're going to release hundreds of millions of more Trump coins over the next couple of years, decreasing its value. So it's just, you got to understand what's going on. So remember, it's great to hear that, but be prepared. That's the really important story out of all of this. You must be prepared. If you're not, you're going to end up paying the price in a big time way. The Bitcoin market, well, right now we're hanging in there, dude. We're right in that 105 range. Right now we're sitting in the 104.7 range at this point, so it's not too bad for us. There we go. I can take off the billboard. So we're hanging out in the 104.7, see, almost 105 range. That's pretty damn good overall. Did I not hit this thing? Okay. Anyway, I thought I hit the to knock out the Venmo wall. Oh, it looks like it's gone on the live one. Oh, it is. Okay. It took off longer on the live one than it did on yours, which is just absolutely insanity. But anyway, we're hanging around 105 now, which is really positive right now for the coin, and it continues. And when it comes to selling, only 18% of long-term holders are selling at this point. So it could be people that are taking profits, major profits, that they are long-time holders, and you kind of understand that. But that tells you 82% are people that are holding under 155 days. You and I know, those of us that have been in it for a while, 6 months ain't shit in Bitcoin. In 6 months, you haven't learned a damn thing about Bitcoin. Once you've gone through a cycle, and you've gone through 4 and 5 and 6 years, then you start really learning what Bitcoin is, where it's at, and how it's growing, and you don't get fudded with, these little dips that you're like concerned because it went to 108 and it went down to 90, and you're like, what do? We go buy the 90 and the 92 and the 93 because we know it's going to pass 108 plus. We know that, so we don't panic. But the people that haven't held for 6 months, they can't deal with the volatility. The reverse is the people that understand Bitcoin, they love the volatility. The volatility turns them on. Okay? That's kind of the way it goes. That's what the smart people end up doing in Bitcoin. Again, not a financial advisor. You do your own homework. You figure out how you want to make your money, how you invest, and how you sell, and all of that. But you got to understand, what's going on. And overall, who's selling and why? And everybody else is buying. And Michael Saylor continues to buy and figures out more ways to buy. Don't get fudded out by any of this stuff, man. If you do, it's just not worth it. It really isn't. It's not worth it. You're basically torturing yourself for no reason at all. When all you got to do is be patient, stay strong. If it's discretionary income, just stay there and take advantage of the dips. The news, like you see, it can't be any more bullish than what it is. Now, let me tell you about something when it comes to the Bitcoin reserve, because I told you before that David Sachs tells you, okay, no, meme coins are collectibles. So it's a nice way to kind of circumvent the laws of creating something that really is fair. And those meme coins are not. They're ripoffs, as most of us know, and it's just a lottery, a gamble. Well, how about the Bitcoin Reserve Plus? And we got a problem here going on, and like we normally do in the Bitcoin community, we have too many people that don't understand the money, government, everything that's going on. And this must be a Bitcoin reserve, not a Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, HBAR. By the way, I own all of them. I own all of them. You understand? I've owned all those top ones for years. So this isn't nothing new to me. I've owned them. They don't belong anywhere in a reserve. Bitcoin is the only one that belongs in the reserve. Bitcoin is the only one that is created pure from the beginning, mined from coin one. There was no pre-mine. There's no coins given out. There's no coins being held. None of that shit. Okay? There's no CEO. There's none of that. Vitalik just put out a tweet where, until the whole thing can take over, the buck stops here and all that kind of stuff. And Garlinghouse runs XRP. And I know that Cardano, supposedly in the last update now becomes decentralized. No, see, Bitcoin's decentralized from day one. Not for nothing, but somebody else is decentralized from day one. And again, as much as I love Caspa now, I wouldn't put in a Bitcoin reserve. The only thing proven in 16 years in crypto is Bitcoin. The only thing proven that has turned the entire world around and everybody wants to own it, it's Bitcoin. It's the only asset. All the other ones, stop lying to yourselves. No matter how much you love Ethereum, no matter how much you love Cardano or XRP or Avalanche or whatever, you're going to sell it. There's a point in time where you're getting rid of your Cardano. The way Bitcoin's being set up, it's being set up so, hell, you can get loans off your Bitcoin. You can start making money off Bitcoin, especially those of you that are able to accumulate, one or more or whatever. God bless you. But my point is the rules, the laws, the expectations of Bitcoin is like none other. It's the true reserve. If you're going to create a Bitcoin reserve, you create a Bitcoin reserve. There is no other. Okay? If it happens that something else actually steps up, then fantastic. Okay? I got no problem with that. But until then, you can't be putting altcoins in there, dude. No one has proven it. No one. You can't even put Caspa because Caspa doesn't have anything yet. As much as I love Caspa and it's all on potential, they still don't have the DeFi. They still don't have the smart contracts. They don't have any of that yet. They don't have that money flowing in. They don't have the businesses being built on it. And I know it will. It comes. That's why I'm willing to go out on a limb and invest because of the tokenomics of it, the way it was constructed, the purity of it, exactly like Bitcoin, except it's a billion times faster. I think when it's done, it's going to be like 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin. I believe this is the stat. But again, it hasn't proven itself yet. We're all investing on potential there. Bitcoin, there's no potential there. Everything else is on potential. Bitcoin's not potential. Bitcoin is the real deal. There's only one. I know Michael Saylor has been adamant about it. And lately he's kind of been more about crypto and not just Bitcoin and all that. So, because he's gotten now everybody else, orange pilled. Even the orange man is orange pilled. Okay. So great. But there's going to be other assets. And so he can't go openly want Bitcoin to grow and while shitting on other assets. So, he's kind of changed his tune. Maybe he'll change his tune about this one. I don't know. I mean, it has all the same qualities. I don't know why he wouldn't. I have no idea why Saylor would not be. Mara already mines Caspa. So something's going on, dude. Something's going on. Binance must be collecting Caspa behind. They're all dirty, dude. They're all keeping Caspa down and they're but that's just a whole other thing. That's a whole other conversation that we'll get to. But when it comes to the reserve, folks, in what was it, 33, they took away everybody's gold. Then in 77, they said, oh no, we're getting off the gold standard. And guess what happens now? The money printer. That's why our dollar has devalued like crazy. And so you if you're going to do the Bitcoin, do it right, man. Make it a Bitcoin reserve. That's what you have to do at this point in time. So I hope that if they want to do other things on the side of it, that's fine. But when it comes to something that's going to back the dollar or help the dollar, it's got to be strictly Bitcoin. Strictly Bitcoin until others are proven. You don't go anywhere with anything but Bitcoin. Because at this point in time, I don't see anything that is even in the neighborhood of Bitcoin. And that's the problem. Anyway, what else? Saw this funny cartoon clip, which is fantastic because for those of us that we've been into Bitcoin for a while, this is the beautiful thing. I'm here to get permission to use my own money. This is why we want to get out of Bitcoin, because some of you, I've seen it. I had a friend of mine that he has plenty of money. Okay, he needed to take out $55,000. Bank of America forced him to go to 4 different banks to get the money. None of the banks had the money. Not one bank had $55,000 on them. How screwed up is that? Because they don't have your money. You know the banks manage somewhere in the neighborhood of I think it's like $11 trillion. And the FDIC has $135 billion to insure that those trillions. I don't know. 135 billion to like 11 trillion. Yeah, the math doesn't jive there. And that's why the math doesn't jive there. You see that kind of stuff, and that's where you are at a major disadvantage all the time. All the time. Because all they end up doing is printing, and printing. Okay? I'll show you. Let's go to this gentleman who explains money in a way that you really need to understand. Okay? And this is Tad Smith. He's a financial professor and talks about Bitcoin. And it's funny because a lot of us that are in Bitcoin that are older, we look at this guy and we go, wow, this happened to me too. I figured it out late. But he explains what goes on with money. Okay. Remember this, I'm not a financial advisor, but that guy is a hell of a lot closer to it than I ever will be in my dreams. So let's hear what he's got to say.
I didn't realize that if the average year the money printer goes, call it 8 to 10%, even in the Western countries, even in the OECD nations, and the average return on the S&P 500 is, call it 9-ish%, including dividends, maybe 9.7, maybe a little less, that it means that all of the work of the S&P 500, all of the value created there is actually the money printer. That to me was startling. I mean, to think about that, the fundamental notion that in a closed system or even an open system, when you're printing money at the rate of 8 to 10% a year, everything is losing value, and the things that appear to be gaining value are not gaining value. They're just keeping you even. So you can put all your money in the S&P 500 and you're not gaining any relative wealth at all. That's a startling insight. I mean, when you really think about the entire value of the S&P 500, on average over a long period of time, not even a long period of time, is equivalent to the money printer. That's, to me, a shock. And it was a shock that said, oh my goodness, how do you think about creating wealth that is relatively greater in this economy? And you have to look hard. The other thing you can imagine is I could tell you about Sharpe ratios and diversification. I could tell you all these different things. And, it's interesting. You can take a concept like diversification of risk, and at a top level, it can be a very powerful and useful tool. But if you are so focused on the mechanistic aspect of that, you can step back and miss the forest, which is in a highly diversified portfolio, it's unbelievably hard to pick up relative amounts of wealth. It is. Diversifying your portfolio, however you do it, is by and large going to reduce your incremental gain in wealth, irrespective of the Sharpe ratio. It's concentration of capital in specific bets that outperform the money printer where you actually create wealth. That was a shock to me. I just didn't get it. I didn't understand it. Even though I taught finance for 20 plus years, I'm still a professor at NYU Stern, at Stern Business School. I've taught strategy and finance for technology, media, and entertainment companies. I'm on a 2-year hiatus, but I'll be presumably going back in the spring. For 25 years, I have almost, actually more than 1,000 former students. And I still didn't get it until I'm age 58. That's the Bitcoin journey. I didn't realize.
Crazy shit, huh? Crazy shit. Why? Because, I diversify. I've got some gold and silver. Well, that doesn't climb faster than the printer. Well, I got a money market account. It's 4%. That doesn't climb faster than the printer. So, you might have hit on one of them at 12 and 15%, but then there's a bunch of others that are bringing you down, and then some others that are losing. Because, in the stock market outside of the big seven, you're gambling like crazy. It's almost like they're collectibles. So, you know what I'm saying? And this is why, if you get Bitcoin, you're like, well, okay, 4 years ago, 8 years ago, wow, where we were and now where we're at. Yeah, it's quite a climb. And the rest of the world is figuring it out. It's really interesting, man. It really is interesting how people are figuring it out. And the good thing is that you do figure it out, that you finally actually make the move. Because if you don't make the move, you're going to fall behind. That's what's going to end up happening. You're going to fall behind, unfortunately. But it's not too late. For you newbies out there, it is not too late at all. All right. Let me see if I got any questions before I continue, because I got a bunch of stuff here. I got some good stuff that I got to get to. By the way, I see Scott. I see, what is it? M. Sirk. They're on Instagram. Miami Canes. Andrew. Tiguala. Thank you out there watching. I see, let's see, Big Johnson. Jeff CJC. Rob Duarte, 5x5. That when I hear 5x5, I think of Elijah Dushku in Buffy and the Vampire Slayer, because that's what she would say to Buffy, 5x5, all the time. That's just, when you say that, that's just what I think. Dushku. Let's see. Ready for February and March. January is typically a down month for Bitcoin, correct? Not in the post halving year. It's kind of a hit and miss at times. You know what I'm saying? But I think we're going to end strong here. I think we're about to close January strong into February. That's what I think. That's where I started the show. That I think it's right. Seriously, I think it's right around there. Like next week, we could be like living the high life. No late than next week. The week after that. I'm telling you, we are going to be riding high within the next 2 weeks. It's going to be, and it's going to start getting crazy. And that's why I said that even people that don't know what the hell they're doing, they're going to make some money, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to explode. A lot of people are going to look for the quick rich scheme. And so that's going to trap a lot of people in there. Let's see. Going to need Bitcoin money when economy is wrecked. I totally agree. And we're headed that way. Nobody's going to save it, bro. Neither side's going to save it. So what do I think about Flare? Well, flares are actually really good in moments of distress because these are good things that they can see, and you're broken down the road. Maybe they won't run you over and all those kind of things. That's what I know about flare. Outside of that, my brother, if that happens to be a coin, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So apologies. I know nothing about flare. I have no problem, by the way, for those of you that are new. If I don't know something, I have no problem telling you I don't know. Okay, can't know about all the coins and all the projects out there and all the companies, so I apologize. Loud 127, don't know anything about Flare. I've used them, but don't know anything about that. Big time wild west. That goes for the stock market as well. That's right. SPACs and IPOs are already lining up to launch as well. And speaking of launches, so we've got CoinShares files for a Litecoin ETF. I'm not a Litecoin guy, but hey, God bless you people out there. If you got Litecoin, more power to you. They also filed for an XRP ETF. Grayscale filed for a Litecoin and Solana ETF. This is just going to be other catalysts that are going to just absolutely juice the markets and juice these coins. So Litecoin, that's been fluttering forever, now it's going to get some traction, which I don't see it. XRP, I see it because the utility to XRP is enormous. And Solana, I mean, Jesus Christ, they've got a ton of utility overall. So that to me, that is just something that I don't know about that one. Anyways, let me don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which, of course, it's the Crypto Bro Show. So you can do that too on Cash App or Venmo or on PayPal. You can make a donation there. Of course, there's the Super Chats too. You can send in your questions, comments there. Also on the Super Chats, we always appreciate that. And we thank, of course, R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. Yes, sir. RMC Fisher Island. Check out their work on Instagram, RMC Fisher Island. Complete remodel for those of you that live here in South Florida. Kitchen, waterproofing for your terrace, balcony, flood test report, which is very important here in South Florida. A lot of people need that right now. Call R&M Contractors. Not only do they do that, they make sure it also drains properly too, because that's another reason why it floods and why it creates problems, because it's not draining properly. So make sure you call R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. They'll get it done. And here's a personal cell number, 305-345-3649. That's 305-345-3649 for R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall. All right. Ethereum. Let's get into this because I've been telling you that Ethereum is just on the brink. I'm telling you it is ready to take off. And it's actually been a little bit productive lately. It's starting to move here in the last, 24 hours. So it's now it's down now that I talked about it, right? But it's last couple of I don't know, about 18, 19 hours, as you can see right up here, we started trending a little bit closer to 3,400. But I really feel like Ethereum, Trump has what is it, up to $65-70 million of Ethereum? And what do you think's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? This is on the brink. There are so many businesses built on it. Stable coins. Remember, we are now going to get into the golden age, to steal the line from everybody that's on the president's side there. We're now going to go into the golden age of stable coins. Okay. I don't know about America or anything else. I hope he does, whatever. But when it comes to crypto, we're going into the golden age of stable coins. And 60% of them are on Ethereum. You see the traffic and things that go on with Solana and meme coins. The business side of it, it's explosive on Ethereum. So it's going to go. And you can stake Ethereum. And listen, for the last 4+ years, we've had an administration that's going after you and for staking and all these other things. And people have been, worried about staking and all that kind of stuff. Now it's a free-for-all. Meme coins are collectibles. It's a free-for-all. Okay? Hey, Nugent, if you sell more free-for-all downloads, make a donation to the show there. Okay? Jesus. Giving you plug after plug after plug there, man. Damn it. So now we got Ethereum. I think it is starting to percolate, as they say, right? But we have some issues with Ethereum. Yeah, things aren't so smooth in the Ethereum world right now. Vitalik had to put out some information out there. Cointelegraph was kind enough to give us the abbreviated version of it. It says Vitalik Buterin. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me make sure. There we go. Want to make sure. All right, where are we at here? So, there we go. Now I can read it. Vitalik Buterin published an article addressing Ethereum's scaling challenges, citing blob limitations and L2 incompatibility. Well, he proposed increasing throughput to 100,000 TPS, standardizing the L2 protocols, and improving rollup security, urging collective efforts from the developers and the community. So Ethereum having their scaling issues. Ethereum still, when it comes to gas fees, it's still higher than what you're going to get on Solana and other chains. But when it comes to scaling, it's interesting because there's just something in the horizon that scales really, really fast. It's cheaper than Ethereum. It's as safe as Bitcoin. It's as pure as Bitcoin. I start seeing all this kind of stuff. Bitcoin not really made to be money. It's not really made for you to go buy a coffee. Okay. Oh, I got to go buy an iPad. It's not really made for that. Can you do it with Jack Mathers and the Lightning Network and all that? Yeah, but do you really want to do that? Those of us that are smart, you don't want to use your Bitcoin as money. You want to keep your Bitcoin. So then what becomes money? Is there another pure source like Bitcoin that was created in the same fashion? Caspa. It can handle more transactions than Solana, faster than Solana, 6,000 times faster than Bitcoin, as pure as Bitcoin, doesn't have the scalability issues of Ethereum or the gas fee issues of Ethereum. So every time I think about this, I go, wow, there's something here, bro. There's something here. I'm just saying, something here. And let me ask you something. You guys know OKX, the exchange? What the hell is up with this? Huh? What's up with this? Talk to me. Tell me, what is this? A new alternative is taking over a dated town. Probably nothing. So if the tornado's orange, it would be Bitcoin. If it was blue, Ethereum. Who's green? Not my eyes. I don't know. They're going to list it. Do they figure out what I just told you? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. You know, of course, you do your own homework, but it's interesting. They haven't posted it. They haven't listed it on their exchange yet, but a new alternative is taking over a dated town, and that is green. I gots to tell you, that's a very interesting cryptic post. Okay? Very interesting cryptic post. Way to go. Way to go, OKC. Again, the show is not about politics. It plays into it where it helps us or it hurts us. So don't get butthurt one way or the other. I don't care. I care about us. Okay? But the orangutan, I got to give him lots of credit for us crypto people. He gets in this week. He said it yesterday. No CBDCs. Or I think that was announced today in the morning, which is huge. CBDCs are a way to rip people off, like meme coins. But hey, listen, he did 1 out of 2. Okay, no CBDCs. At least I have an option. I don't have to buy the meme coin, which I'm not. So suckers want to buy that, suckers go ahead. But no CBDCs because that's suckering an entire nation, and other nations are going to do it, which is disgusting. We got the Bitcoin stockpile. Okay, good and bad, as we just talked about. Will you do this Bitcoin only stockpile? And then you want to make another one on the side for something else, go ahead. But it should be only Bitcoin. But at least we're going to get a Bitcoin reserve one way or another, which is, I think, very important. Cynthia Lummis is too smart to allow Garlinghouse or anybody else to influence her. I would hope. Okay, I would hope that Tom Emmer and all these people, how much I've heard them for years now. Okay, us Bitcoiners, we like Tom Emmer, and we like, again, not about politics. I love Josh Shapiro too. Anybody that's pro Bitcoin, I love. Okay, on that part, because I know they're looking out for your interest and mine. So I've heard them talk about Bitcoin. I think this is very fuddish on people's part. They have 180 days, 6 months to, put together this whole plan. I think there'll be a Bitcoin reserve, and then there'll be an altcoin stockpile. I can see something like that. But I think when it comes to dollar backing, it'll be Bitcoin reserve, because Bitcoin is the one that's going to, come on, man. It's going to multiply the way it should. So good job. And then he also backed USB-backed stable coins, which is not something that the other administration did. And let me tell you something, folks. The dollar is weakening around the world. This is a very smart move on their part. You want to make sure your dollar, you want to make sure every bank, remember we had the chokehold 2.0 against us. How many of you have had problems buying crypto? Right? Different banks, different problems. Now, this opens it up. Every bank's going to accept it. Every bank's going to let you use their money to buy your crypto and do whatever you want. And there's not going to be any more of those stupid ass restrictions. But at the same time, what the other administration didn't understand, that this one I think is getting it, is if you do that, that puts more dollars into the system. That strengthens your dollar. It's like, it's common sense. So I give them credit there. Again, not about politics. I don't care. I just care about helping us. Okay. They wiped out the SEC's SAB 121, which now will allow banks to hold crypto for people. All right. So they'll be able to buy and hold for crypto. So they'll be custodians. Is it what I want? No, I have my own crypto wallets, all that stuff. I'm set up. But the way we get the newbies, they have to go through the banks. They have to learn on their own first. They're not, they weren't willing to do the things that you and I were willing to do. Go on exchanges, learn how to buy crypto, learn how to buy a cold storage wallet, learn how to move it, learn how to, all that stuff. It took some time. It takes some balls. It takes some guts. All you men and women out there that did that, it took serious guts over the last few years to do, and especially under the environment we were in. But the average person is still not going to do what we're going to do. So now I had to walk a friend of mine yesterday through buying their first Tangent wallet, buying Ethereum, all that kind of stuff. He's already up a little bit, although it went down now, so he might be even, because it might be where it was last night when he did buy it. But anyway, so overall, this is all good for all of us. So now the banks it'll help them too, obviously, and it'll fast track mass adoption, which selfishly for us, whatever you own, Polygon, HBAR, whatever it is, XDC, I don't care, whatever it is, Aptos, whatever you own, you have a better chance of it pumping if banks are all involved, and it can help out. Somebody now can go to their Bank of America or something else, and hopefully they'll have crypto assets and they can actually purchase them and put them on there. That's just going to be fantastic for them. It's going to make it nice and easy for them. Now, just for you newbies out there, if you're going to do it through a bank, if you cannot move what you have in the bank to your cold storage wallet and they limit that, I would not have them as a custodian. I'm just saying. So first of all, I would never hold it in a bank, but I get it for newbies that are out there and you haven't done this. So I totally understand. You know what I'm saying? That you can't do anything about that. So I think that is really huge stuff from the Orange Man. It's pretty interesting. The Orange Man got orange pilled. Finally. A year ago, he was still talking about the dollar and stuff. He was still professing the dollar a year ago. Thank the Lord he got off that crap. It's his sons, actually, really. His sons are the ones that are actually, the key for him doing that, and why he has kind of changed his ways, as they say. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Trump coins literally say it's a meme coin. Yeah, it's a meme coin. Look, we talked about this the other day, and why I am positive the market, especially the crypto market, is about to explode to kingdom come. The dollar right now. Let's get to it. Okay, let's talk about the dollar. Okay, remember I was telling you in the last show how it's heading a little bit down, and you see it here on the back end where it's going downward, right? If we go to the 10-day stretch of it, the other day it wouldn't stay still and it wouldn't move. So, today I'm having a little bit better luck, so it wasn't freezing up on me. But look at the 10-day movement. Okay? As the dollar weakens, risk assets explode. And as Trump puts in all of the things that he's doing and all that stuff, it's going to take money. The printer's going to have to open up. You got them pressuring to lower the rates. Trump's already pressuring them. Larry Fink, I'll play that cut for you in a minute. So the Trump and Fink are pressuring the feds to lower the rates. It's stupid. I don't know how you don't listen to those two. Those two guys have way more power than you ever will. You know what I mean? So if I'm Powell, it's not that it'll be a good thing or whatever, but the printer's coming. And you just heard the professor talk about how they print 8 to 10% of the money every year. So they devalue the money every year, 8 to 10%. So look at it, man. It's headed downward. So if we're going on this path, this is something you got to watch. You always want to watch the DXY. Why? Because when this thing starts going downward, gold goes up, Bitcoin will go up, stocks will go up. It just happens that way. And people get out of the dollar and they put it into commodities. And they go the reverse and they go into bonds and all that other stuff when it goes up. And so now you're doing this stuff here. So take advantage. I'm just telling you. I am just giving you the honest scoop. So it's just something that you definitely want to follow. What else do we have going on? Let's see. Oh, by the way, I want Bitcoin Magazine. Okay, Bitcoin Magazine. You know, if you're going to post some shit, make sure it's accurate. Bitcoin Magazine. Just in, MicroStrategy may have to pay federal income taxes on its unrealized Bitcoin gains of $18 billion. First of all, that's as inaccurate as it gets. They don't have that law in place. And I'm not sure if Bitcoin Magazine realizes that Kamala didn't win. Trump won. Trump's not taxing tips. He's going to tax unrealized gains. Like, where do you get your information? You know, that's why I retweeted it, I mean, that's incompetent. And the bad part is that we have people that will end up believing it, man. That's the part that sucks, dude. People will end up believing it. And there's no truth to it. And then somebody else might think about, I mean, at that point, it's not like it's really rich people that have to worry about that, not like people like me. Maybe some of you out there, but not me. That's for sure. All right, what else do we have here? Thank you, Mario Muniz. I appreciate you. Let's see. Big O still sitting on my Jasmine. Okay. Congratulations. Trump will be launching coins on ETH as well. I can pretty much guarantee it. Also, I've been hearing that Trump is planning on giving very friendly tax breaks on cryptocurrencies developed in the US. Yes. And supposedly no taxes on Bitcoin. So I don't know. We'll see. Did you buy your Bitcoin yet? You know? So it's one of those deals. Vishal can't wait for the H-bar boom. It's coming. It's coming. Jasmine, I think. By the way, going back to George, I'm glad you're still sitting. You should be sitting on it. I mean, there's no reason to. I don't know when you got in. That's the thing. These are the things I can never answer to somebody. Like, I don't know when you got in. I don't know what your financial situation is. I don't know when you get out, all of that. But I do know this for George and those of you that have Jasmine. Did you see that Japan had to raise their rates a quarter point? I wonder, because Jasmine's only gone up, and it is considered the Japanese Bitcoin. And so I'm just wondering, not that it really is the Japanese Bitcoin or anything like that, but it is a coin that is growing there. Okay? I wonder if people see their dollar dying, and do they put it in Bitcoin, and do they put some in Jasmine? And it'll be interesting. So please watch the correlation of rates going up, because Japan's economy they got serious problems. Okay? Economies all over the world have got some serious problems. Japan's got some really, really bad issues. So be aware, those of you that own Jasmine, follow what's going on in Japan and their interest rates, because if it continues to get worse and they got to raise more, see what happens also in the correlation, how that affects positively or negatively Jasmine. Okay? Because it could go either way. But if it goes positive, then it becomes a haven for them. That becomes awesome for those of us that own Jasmine, and its utility potential is just absolutely ridiculous if you look into it. Again, not a financial advisor. You guys do your own homework, but that's something to keep an eye on there. If I'm you, George. All right, so sit on that, Fonzie. What else? Swamp Donkey says, when the crypto markets do explode, I feel sorry for the lettuce hands people. But thanks for all the dips gifts. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. You know what? I bought Bitcoin today. I don't give a shit that it was at 104 or something, 105. Don't matter to me, bro. I had a little extra money. I said, you know what? Just throw it in there. Doesn't matter. This shit's going 15x anyways in 5 years. I am not worried about it. It's a little extra money. Boom. I'll throw it in there. Who cares? You know, well worth it. And obviously there's still some altcoins that I love that I'm still investing in and trying to get as much as I can before. And I don't even think that this is the bull run for the explosion for Caspa. I think Caspa maybe can 10 to 15x here in this bull run, purely on potential. But if they get to the point where they're start getting the smart contracts working by the end of 2025 into 2026, then yeah, we might see even more. But I just think the future for Caspa over the next cycle, the next four, oh my God, that's where I'm holding this really for the next cycle, to be quite honest. I know I'll be able to make some money in a year from Caspa, but I'm probably not even going to cash out. Maybe very little, but it's mostly for down the line because I actually think it's going to end up growing. But we'll find out, right? We'll all find out. That's for damn sure. Wall Street Journal had an article on MicroStrategy tax story too. Yeah, it's just not accurate about, unrealized gains because that's not what they're doing. They're not going to do that. That might have been information from, if the Democrats would have won, there was some talk of doing that, Here's Larry Fink pressuring Powell. And, they're going to ratchet this baby up. There's no doubt about it. Okay? Here's Larry.
Larry Fink warns of inflation. We're not done with inflation. Larry's very worried about inflation. Why?
I'm not terribly worried. But
do you think the market's being too complacent about the inflation story?
No, I think the bond market is the best reflection of what's going on in the world. It is the barometer for every politician, for every central bank. It really informs us every day where the mood of the global economy. And that I believe the bond market is indicating that inflation may be higher than we think. The genie may be coming out of the bottle.
Do you think the Fed's done cutting rates this year?
No, they still have room to cut. That will create a more steepening of the yield curve. So I think, the next few months of data and information will identify it. I would say to you, the economy is very strong.
I think Larry is a shark that is not willing to admit it all right there because she kind of led him into, oh, you're really worried. Well, I'm not terribly, worried about inflation. Oh, inflation's coming. We're going to have permanent inflation. Okay. We're not lowering inflation to 2% or any of that. We're going to deal with inflation from here on out. We're going to move into hyperinflation eventually. They will not stop printing no matter what they tell you, okay? Don't believe either side. Believe Bitcoin. Don't believe either side, okay? Believe Bitcoin. They're going to keep printing. They cannot stop. Remember, when they collect our taxes every month, everybody's taxes, they collect it. 63% of it goes to pay the interest for our debt. That's 37% left. For Social Security, for everything, you name it, fire, police, military, schools, everything, okay? You name it, 37%. That's why they have to print, okay? It's just going to be really hard to get out of the hole that we're in. Eventually, they have to turn on the printer, and that's why the DXY, I tell you to keep an eye on it and follow it, because if it continues on a downward trajectory, expect assets to explode. That's what will feed this bull run even more, is a weaker dollar. And it always happens. And it happened with Trump in his, he weakened the dollar and it explode because he knows that will create and generate more business. But if you have this dollar high and then all these taxes and you have all this red tape and everything, they're trying to eliminate all that. See if they can go the other way. We'll see. We'll see. Would be nice. Would be nice if they can somehow figure out to level this thing off. But it's not going to. This is going to get ugly. That's why Bitcoin is so important, so you can kind of prepare for what's coming. Now, more good news. Dennis Porter puts out Ohio put together a bill. This is just this is why, think about this. Okay, this is why I say that it's important that you do a Bitcoin reserve for the country. States are talking about Bitcoin reserves. They're not talking about crypto reserves. They're talking about Bitcoin reserves. Okay, so Porter now puts this out, a new bill enabling Ohio to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve with 6 co-sponsors has been introduced in the state's Ohio of majority whip. The keynotes of the bill, the state can allocate up to 10% of its general fund, budget stabilizing fund, and the prizes trust fund into Bitcoin. Robust custody solutions and laid out ensuring the state uses self-custody or qualified custodian. The bill is tech neutral and uses the term digital asset to reduce political friction, ensuring the state can move rapidly to protect the purchasing power of its funds from runaway inflation. You know, the one thing I love is that more and more people are talking about how bad the inflation is and how they're printing the money and how they're devaluing our money and how the money in your bank is dying and the money in your pocket is dying. And every day the Whopper gets more expensive, and so does the Big Mac, and so does the chicken, and so does toilet paper and everything else. So the bill is tech neutral and uses the term digital asset to reduce political friction, ensuring the state can move rapidly to protect the purchasing power of its funds from runaway inflation. A $750 billion market cap must be met to qualify for the reserve, ensuring that as of today, only Bitcoin qualifies. This metric also requires an average of 12 months further, ensuring stringent requirements are met to qualify. This bill is a bold move with strong support by leadership and a total of 6 co-sponsors, further boosting its chances of passing into law. We fully support and endorse the bill, and we will be working closely with the bill's sponsors and advocates to ensure this legislation becomes a reality. So this is just continuing to just power through, man. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. And it's just absolutely awesome to watch what's going on. Ramon, yes, Ray. Thank you, Ray. Thank you. Says a happy Crypto Friday. Get some bundle in Uphold. I've seen those bundles in Uphold. They're pretty cool, right? Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you immensely. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always appreciate those. Thank you out there, as always. Let me see what we got here. Bitcoin crypto is the greatest lifeboat created for an economy flooded with overprinted fiat. Yes, sir. That is 100% correct, my brother. 100% correct. All right. So what else do we have going on? This is news that is stupidly ridiculous, and it would have never happened with the prior administration and Gary Gensler in place. Now BlackRock has filed to allow in-kind creation and redemption on their Bitcoin ETFs. So the authorized participants, not like if you buy a Bitcoin ETF, you're not going to be able to, add and take out cash and all. They're going to have to do it for you, but you will have that flexibility, which again allows you to feed it and it can grow faster, all those kind of things. And it allows you to also in the same time to protect yourself. I think there's a little bit of that where, okay, I'm cynical as hell, but those of you that cash out on some of your ETFs, that portion of Bitcoin that you cashed out on, I don't think it goes back to a what's it called, an exchange. Something tells me that this is how BlackRock siphons away the Bitcoin, because eventually you will cash out. You won't hold it forever, because it's like, see, when you own the Bitcoin, it's different. I think when you own it as an ETF, you treat it as a stock and you're ready to sell it at any moment because you really don't own it. It's not yours. But when you own the Bitcoin, it's yours. It's yours. For you classic rap fans. Okay? I'm just saying. So this is just, again, another catalyst that will explode the market, bro. Just give it more and more juice in the market. Okay? So here's a little sum that you may want to check out from Mr. Dennis Porter again. Good follow, by the way. Says a new academic paper uses empirical data to prove that Bitcoin is the most powerful tool for states to protect themselves from monetary debasement. The dollar has lost at least 25% of its purchasing power since 2018. We've had two presidents since 2018. Not one, not two, actually two. Okay? Two. So we've lost 25% of our purchasing power starting in 2018. It started earlier, but it started at a much faster pace in 2018, and we continue to increase that pace. That'll be the interesting part of the new administration. Can they slow down the pace? Because Obama didn't slow down the pace from George Bush Jr. Trump didn't slow down the pace from Obama. Biden didn't slow down the pace from Trump. So will Trump slow down the pace from Biden? Because everybody prints more and more. That's how it is. It went from 6 to 8. Well, 8 in 8 years for Obama, to 7.8 by Trump in 4, to 8.2 in 4 by Biden. So, Bush did $6 trillion in 8 years. Obama did $8 trillion in 8 years. Trump did 7.8 in 4 years, and Biden is up to 8.2 in 4 years. So will Trump keep going and take it higher? That's why you've lost 25% of your purchasing power. So it says this paper led by Dr. Murray Rudd details on how just a small Bitcoin allocation can protect the state's budget from the loss in purchasing power. The paper also compares Bitcoin against gold and treasuries and shows that Bitcoin is a superior option for protecting the purchasing power of the state's funds. It is finite, ladies and gentlemen. There's only a certain amount of Bitcoin. And if you don't take advantage of it. Now, for those of you, by the way, have you had trouble in the last year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years buying crypto, and something happened that they stopped you and pissed you off or limited you or did something for no reason at all? Well, you have somewhere to air your grievances. Okay? And it's not just Seinfeld. Of course, they have their grievances. They have their moment of airing grievances. We know. But no. Thanks to our friends there at Cryptos R Us, they posted this. The House Site Committee has asked individuals and companies who have been debanked due to Bitcoin and crypto to submit any and all evidence. And as they put, sounds like an investigation into Choke Point 2.0 is underway. Again, thank you. I got to say that's good for us, the consumer, that somebody's looking out for us, because those of us over the last 4 years, we've had some issues. We've had some dirty shit going on. You know how many of my friends have, how about How about a bunch of my friends in New York? Oh, I can't, it's Coinbase or nothing or whatever. And it's like so lame, dude. Now everybody's going to have the opportunity to buy from all kinds of exchanges, because I'm sure a lot of the exchanges that weren't available here, from Gate.io to whatever, will be available. And that'll be cool. But if you have any grievances, reach out, man. You deserve to get defended, and you deserve to bring some misery to those people that brought, misery to you. You know what I'm saying? But the news could not be more positive. The news could not be more beastly right now. If you're a crypto fan, I'm telling you, you're set for life. You're set for life if you're investing in the right things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana. There's just a lot of great investments are going on. It's just up to you to do your homework, how much you can purchase, find out about staking. That's a very important thing. What exchanges have staking? What kind of percentages? That way you have your money working for you two ways. One, it goes up in value, and two, you're staking and getting interest also at the same time. So if you own Solana or Ethereum or many other coins, Cardano and others, you can stake them in different exchanges. So find out about that. Do your homework. Do all those kind of things. Take advantage. You now have a friendly crypto government, something you didn't have for the last 4 years. You now will have a friendly crypto government. This is your opportunity, and we are about to skyrocket. Not a financial advisor, but in the next week or two, when this goes shit bonkers, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I told you so. Okay? I told you so.
The Crypto Bro Show is brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. From complete makeovers for homes or condos to impact windows and doors to drywall with level 5 finish. Call Ray or Mike at RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island. Crypto Bros. Follow Big O for more crypto insight on X or Twitter at Big O Show.